All the 2014 Commonwealth Games action right here on BBC.
Ewan is now doing red. It's almost as red as his trousers.
Now, Jackie, your sister Joan was, of course, in the 1957 film Wayward Bus. Yes. And we've got a still, lovely still of her and Jayne Mansfield here.
Wow.
Two glamorous ladies together.
Yeah, very glamorous.
Yeah, very nice.
Yes.
But what people may not know is that one of Jayne's last appearances was here in the UK, at a rather strange venue in Giles reports on a buxom blonde behind bars.
In her lifetime, she came to epitomise the blonde bombshell.
A bulletin has just been handed to me. Hollywood star, the buxom and beautiful Jayne Mansfield, is dead.
The date, the 29th of June, 1967.
She died in the Deep South, but curiously, only weeks before, America's #1 pin-up of her generation found herself like a fish out of water, performing here in the north of England.
You want what? A girl like me? I want a man.
The studios billed her as the working man's Monroe, appearing in films with suggestive titles like The Girl Can't Help It and Promises, Promises. And Britain had welcomed her with open arms, obliging a receptive public with personal appearances at the Royal Command performance, and even turning on the Blackpool illuminations.
It's completely breathtaking and without words.
But as the 1960s rolled in, Hollywood fell out of love with Mansfield's blonde stereotype.
So, by 1967, with the film roles drying up, in the midst of her third divorce, broke, and with 5 children to support, she came back one more time on a money-making tour of the Northern Club circuit. From La Dolce Vita in Newcastle to La Bamba in Darlington and the Latino in South Shields, Miss Mansfield played them all.
And while she may have fallen on hard times, she was still every inch a star.
Whatever her reception, she never needs to feel lonely. Moral support comes from her American road manager, her British road manager, her hairdresser, her showbiz agent, and her impresario advisor.
Basing themselves, just like the Beatles 3 years earlier, here in Halifax, at what was then called the Cavalier Club.
And this is her room?
This is the actual room.
Oh, lead on.
Here we are.
Oh, where's the 4-poster bed? Where are the nice plump pillows?
Well, of course, today it is a private dining room, but in the 60s it was a bedroom. And in 1967, of course, it was Jayne Mansfield's bedroom.
Wow.
Blow me a kiss from across the room.
And from here she would rouse herself from bed for the 15-minute commute to work.
To Batley, where she was booked for a week's residency here at what was then called the Batley Variety Club. Her fee for the week, £4,000. That's a cool 25k in today's money.
Carl Gresham was the press officer at the time.
They'd seen this icon in Hollywood, and she had that aura. When she walked in on the stage, people immediately went, this is what we've come to see.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jayne Mansfield.
And then she'd walk down off the stage, and she'd find a lovely table which had ladies and gentlemen on with girlfriends, and she'd sit on one of the men's knees. And you could see the seething anger of the girls, thinking, what's she going to do now?
Now, my girl, you're so young and pretty.
What Mansfield did do next was find a truly captive audience without girlfriends to offend, inviting the press to a concert at Leeds Prison.
We gotta get out of this place.
Les Piggin shared the bill.
She was introduced by the chaplain. She let the applause die down a little bit, let them settle, and then she said, looking at them straight and knowing exactly what she was saying, "Would you like to see my chihuahuas?" It was tremendous. But once they settled down, she gave a signal and out came a liveried chauffeur with these 2 little dogs. Her chihuahuas.
It was a somewhat bizarre conclusion to the career of the actress who won a Golden Globe for Most Promising Newcomer 10 years before. Just weeks later, Jayne Mansfield, back in America, was to have her life tragically cut short. The last of the blonde bombshells.
How much longer do you think you can be a sex symbol?
Forever, darling.
And 45 years on, nowhere is that more true than here in West Yorkshire.
Never have we seen Giles so excited as in that film, but it's a very sad story,
It
isn't
is
it?
a very sad story.
And you were saying that to sisters, still very famous in America.
Her daughter is
that's
extremely famous in America. Mariska Haggerty. She's on Law and Order. She's won an Emmy, and I'm sure that Jayne would be incredibly proud of her. I never met Jayne, but I've met Mariska, and she's she's very dark-haired, very beautiful, very kind of, you know, almost Russian-looking. But she's a big star in America, and I'm sure that, you know, Jayne would be so thrilled.
Yeah,
She always wanted to be a big star. She never was because of Marilyn Monroe.
Now, of course, all the people that you meet in your life, Jackie, I mean, do you try and sort of weave them into your books? I know you said at the top that